Okay, so I wanted to make this video uh, to hopefully make a to post it on Reddit and also on on YouTube. The unit that this is the what you're looking at is an Ecoflow Glacier. I believe it's a couple years old. It came in. A friend of mine had a customer of his that was attempting to do the repair on his own and did not succeed. I'll get into a little bit of detail on why it looks the way that it looks in a bit. But anyways, I've repaired my own, and I do understand. I am very well aware that the only thing that right now that exists as a somewhat repair or temporary repairs, what it would be labeled, is when you go through the drain hole and run the probes through the drain hole where they're gonna be out here out in the open, and place them like basically where the tub on the bottom of the tub, but on the inside of the tub. Now that'll work. I mean, you will for sure here and there get some wonky readings. I can guarantee that because of the placement. But you could easily damage or break them fairly fast if you place something really heavy on top of them. They're not meant to last. They're made cheaply. They're only a couple bucks for a pack of 4. So, and aside from that, and again, I would give the person credit. I don't remember his or her Reddit name, but if I can find the form, I will post the link. If you're watching this on YouTube, otherwise, if you're already on Reddit, then you most likely already know what I'm talking about and where where to find that specific tutorial at. That would be if you want a non-destructive and the fastest way possible to repair it. It would be like that. All you would have to do is know how to clip and put 4 wires, splice them together, whatever, and seal them back off. Run the new probes, the new probe wires throughout the compressor right here, this area, and then into the drain hole, and then place them wherever you like on each side. Now, if you want a way to permanently fix it until basically they give out again, then you can go with this method, and this is similar basically to how I repaired mine, just the hole wasn't anywhere near as big as this one. So what the customer did was, originally he was trying to find the wiring for the old probes to get to the head of the probe, the little silver part, so that he can dislodge it from wherever it's at, pull it out, clip them, and then lodge the new heads to where the old ones were at. And he thought he did find one of them when he was going in through the top right here. And the reason you see this cable like this, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better, is because he did clip it when he cut into it. When he cut his hole, he ended up clipping that wire that's connected to whatever this little sensor here is. Not too sure if it does anything. I think sure it does, but top of my head I can't think what it is. But anyways, after he did that, he wasn't too worried about that because he seen a wire coming from like right here and then going downwards towards the bottom, and it looked exactly like the new probe wires. So he figured that's it. He found one of them, the one that's going to the large side. So I know you can't see it the way that he had it before this because it looked nothing like this. I had to clean it up really. Like, if you would have seen it before this, you would have really been scared. But anyways, this chunk wasn't cut off at the time when he was looking for the wire. So anyways, he found the wire. He dug what he claimed was a little cave downwards towards the head of the wire, or what he thought was the head of the probe. And when it became loose, he thought he can tug at it, and when he tugged at it, it ripped. And then he noticed that it had a positive and negative red and black cable coming out, and he figured that has something to do with anything but what he was looking for. So at that time, he put everything as far as this back on, plugged everything back in, put the battery in, turned it on, and then he noticed that the light inside that's towards this handle over here wasn't working, wasn't turning on anymore. So that the wire, if you do go with this method, that you might see coming, and it'll be lodged on the white tub that's coming down this way. That's not the probe, that's for the light. Again, that's the light, and that's for this sensor right here. Now, if you're looking for the real probes, they're going to be located on right here on this wall where your battery would go. And yes, everything is disconnected from the control board up here, so you have to worry about that. Yeah, so the original sensors are on this wall, a wall that you have a view to, that so that if you ever do plan on thinking that you can go in there to do something similar like this, or maybe you figure out another way to get them out to replace, they're pretty much gonna be stuck in there. If you plan, and I'm just gonna put this out there in case anybody else, to save you the time and effort, because I've already after more than a year after I repaired mine in a similar method, I've still been doing research and looking up other units that are dual zone from other companies that actually do put out service manuals or documentation, to kind of get a feel of like how similar they are in the way that they build them. But even if they look similar, they're not, that doesn't mean that they're built similar. Ecoflow, I guess, decided to run their wiring harness, I guess it would be considered upwards, with the cold copper, with the main copper cold wire. Sorry, can't speak today. But anyways, yeah, they decided to run the main wiring harness upwards towards the ice maker, and then reroute it basically where underneath the ice maker, and then going towards sorry, I'm like disoriented. That's the back right here where the battery's at, in the back of the ice maker. So the wiring harness goes upwards in the front, I believe, on this side, and then they reroute it so that it can go above, like basically where the battery housing is at, around there, in between the housing and the ice maker, and then out towards basically here, or vice versa. Sorry, kind of in a little rush, and I don't really want to make this video long. I just want to give you guys an explanation, maybe give somebody an idea of how they can go in there and do something similar, maybe better, easier, or somebody by watching this video come up with a different method that is less destructive. But so far there isn't any other way to permanently fix this issue without wires coming out where they're exposed outside or inside the tub, or going through the wiring, following the wiring harness. It's not going to be possible, because you have to dismantle everything, the whole unit. And even if you follow the wiring harness and then it leads you back to where I told you the probes are actually located at, how are you going to pull them out without having to basically scoop out all that foam that's in the front to get both of the probes out, to pull them out, and then place the new ones in, and then hopefully be able to reseal it up with the new foam without damaging anything and making it still look similar to original. You know, where you can take it everywhere still. You don't have to worry about people looking at it. And it has like a huge hole on the side right there. Even if you are decent at plastic welding, you might still be able to tell that it's there. But this would be the I would say, you know, the best way to permanently fix temperature issue, the temperature probe hardware failure, where you're not going to notice it, because even if your plastic welding skills aren't up to par, there's a sticker that's usually here, white, like, I don't know if it's a warning label or whatever it is, cancer causing label, but what's it called, even if you do a shitty job putting the little new door compartment access door there, once you put that big ass sticker back on their flush, heat it up with a heat gun and just use a flat pry tool to smooth it out, it's gone. You'll never see it again, never have to worry about it. And if you sealed it off good with and the ways that I'm going to explain right now, the temperatures will stay consistent. But if you're a lucky person that knows somebody that does this, like at a body shop for cars that does plastic welding, then I would say ask them if they can, once you do the repair and put in the foam, if they can put the little doors back on there for you. It'll be gone. Or I've also recommended to people that they can go to your local like places that print out decals and print out like basically a black decal that matches the same plastic, kind of like shiny, not too shiny black of that, and just place the decal right there. No one will ever see that there is anything there. And regardless, the bottom always gets scruffed. This, you know, it gets all these really bad lines and that, you know. So realistically, the bottom is the best place that you want to go in through. And if you're worried about, well, I don't mind if I know that for sure the temperature is going to stay consistent and it's not going to leak or anything like that, or nothing bad's going to happen. Like, I wouldn't mind doing it like this. And I can tell you, if you seal it off right, and again, going into a repair like this, if you're not confident and you don't have the time, then don't attempt it. You will most likely be left with a expensive ice chest. So or pay somebody to do it for you that is willing to do it. Explain to them how they go about it, and if they agree, then let them do it. But I would say that right now the hardest part for me still to this day is the plastic welding and sanding. It just getting everything to look flush again, so that once I add the black industrial sealant to the outside of the housing, where it just looks so that it seals off the thin line that would be, you know, in between this and the little partition that you took off. But if you're good at that, and then the rest might even come easy, then yeah, I would highly recommend that you do the repair yourself. You might already even have all the tools that you need for it to do it. You need a way to cut into it. A lot of people go with a soldering iron with like a knife head on it, or a knife tip on it. The person that did this, or at least the original hole, used just like a normal soldering iron tip. You could, but you're gonna have a thicker opening and just more damage to the housing. So something thin, or you can use an ultrasonic cutter. You can use a hot knife, which is basically the same thing as almost like a soldering iron. You can use what I have down here, a dermal with a really good cutting head on it. Or any way that you feel comfortable that makes the nicest cuts and least damage to the housing. And you do want to watch out for this specific wire. This wire will be at this exact location. Let me try to zoom in. And it is basically attached to the back side of the housing. This wire is connected to this sensor, and the only other wire that's here is just the wire for to power the light right there. There's no temperature sensor wires here. The replacement ones, the new ones, where I told him, at least for where he made his first hole at. So we placed one here, or sorry, like right around here, and another one here. And then the wiring is behind this protective adhesive that then goes upwards. So basically like this, but like barely like missing the drain hole, and then would come out through the hole that I drilled right here. That is basically a little bit bigger than the diameter of the probe head, so that the only thing that could fit is basically the probe head, and just in a straight line. And from here, then the wires will be tucked in nicely and insulated, so that they don't get hot from the compressor and everything else, or the hot air that the fan's blowing to keep it cool. And then from that, then they connect to the board. You do have to splice the 4 wires that are on the board that connect the small and the large size. It's fairly easy, but just note that you don't have too much room to mess up when it comes to stripping them. I would say, because I don't want to keep going up more, to keep unhooking, or just you have to basically tear the heat shrink that's on the wiring harness and the zip ties. But you can get a little bit more room than what I normally do. But usually I have about maybe that much, maybe a little bit less of room to play with when it comes to stripping the wires. So if I ask, because they're really thin, really thin, and you got to be very careful, because where they connect to the control board, it's really sensitive, and the last thing you want to do is accidentally tug on them too hard to strip them, that it kind of dislodges the connector that's connected onto the board a little bit, and then now you have to go in there and fix that. So you know, be really careful. That's probably the most tedious part about it, is stripping the thin wires that are connecting the control board to the old sensors, and then combining the new ones with the old ones, and that's it. And just get them, heat shrink them back up, zip tie them back to as close as you can to original, and to back to in place where they were. Now that you've done that, and you have the wires coming through, and you've already found where you're gonna place them. So say you don't have to choose these locations, but you're gonna wanna, wherever the partition goes to make the small and the large side, you just want to go based off that and make sure that wherever you place the sensor is on, it would be a little bit considered that side, or actually that side. You don't want to have it then like where the, say the partition is right here, you have one right here, then you have one on there. Like, you don't want to do that, especially if you want to control the temperatures. So you want them spread apart, but you don't need to spread them too far apart. Like you see here, right here, we just did it just for the reason that he dug out all that foam. So we had to go in there and or actually I had him cut out the rest of the piece off, because we spoke over the phone first before he brought the unit, and he asked me if he can just cut the remaining piece to basically where his little cave or hole was at that he dug the foam out. And if you ask why, it's because you have to seal it. So wherever foam was taken out, and this is just foam that wasn't removed, because he just took the plastic housing off. I had to go in there and scoop out the foam. And you want to do this. You want to do this repair in a well ventilated area. You don't want to fucking eat that shit. So that's why. So he took the plastic, and I did the rest. But for this repair, you do have to get high R foam, a foam can. I always go with this. This is as good, if not better, as the original Chinese shit that Ecoflow uses. So this is you normally always find it at Home Depot or Lowe's for like $15. Has to be this one. Can't go with any other foam type materials. Like, I know I have customers ask me about because it's similar. I think it is in the R value, but lower R value. I don't remember, but I've had customers ask me if they can use the foam that you would use for fire blocks to keep them sealed and keep them insulated. And no, you can't use that. You can't use that type of foam. And you will need one of these. Not this specific one, but you will need a foam gun, at least for this. This can does require you to get a foam gun. This is the customer's. He bought it new, was gonna use it, didn't, so he ended up giving it to me and said to use it on his repair. So that's what we're gonna do in a little bit once this dries off. So you will need a foam gun. The cheapest you can get a foam gun for, my original one was a Husky foam gun, and it cost me like $30, $25 to $30. You are gonna need some of this Lockheed concrete sealant, and this is going to be to basically seal off this brown stuff is basically what you're gonna want to use this, or you can also use this for the hole, for this hole where your wires will come in. You do have to run some you do have to seal this one right here before you spray the foam. This is basically the last, almost the last part. The dermal, you can use it for either. I have the dermal here because I have to sand down with the sanding bit the edges and outer walls after or before I spray the foam. You're gonna need some thermal paste, any cheap thermal paste. Normally I use what I have for my gaming setup. So I use like a $15 thermal paste, but you can get them as low as like $5 to $7 for the typical gray thermal paste. And the gray thermal paste, you just have to apply a little bit onto the probe and onto the white tub wherever you decide to place the probes at. What's holding these two probes is this electrical tape that's specifically designed for an application like this. It's not normal electrical tape. It costs maybe like $6 for this roll at Home Depot. I always have tubs of these on too. So this you will also need. It's not a necessity, but I highly recommend you get it, because this could be used as another way to seal off like where you would have like the electrical tape lines and just over the temperature probe, so that you get a nice good seal over the sensor. I'm trying to remember. Let's see if there's anything else. Heat shrinks is a given, and just like I said, your basic tools, something to cut in there. That's upon you, however you feel more comfortable with, and of course the packet of new probes. So you get the basic idea. Is you can drill a hole coming from the right here, and this will be covered by the housing, the plastic black housing, and then run a stiff thin metal wire that will break the foam and go and come out through here, and just keep pushing it in back and forth, or use a thin long drill bit that will fit, that's the same diameter as the probe, and just use that to make the hole big enough to run the probe easily through there. That way, to bring the probe from here into here, you can do it as however you feel is the easiest for you. Everything that's after you seal, because you do have to seal it, so you want to make sure. There's still some that I need, these parts right here you see in white, and I'm going to seal off with this Lockheed stuff, the outer walls, the foam walls. So I'm going to seal the walls off, because of course there's going to be chipping that happens all the time, because this foam is really brittle. So you want to seal off any places that it chipped off. But the main thing is you have to seal it perfectly to not get wonky temperature readings. Once you got that, then it's ready for the last part, to use the foam. Spray it. You're gonna have to obviously most likely cut it before sealing it, and then the last part would be just to put back the little new doors that you made, weld it back into place. You can I believe at Home Depot they sell also this mixture, that's an industrial strength mixture that is for plastics like this, that will basically, you can add on the outer lining that will keep it locked into place, and then you can go in there and sand it off or make it look pretty however you want. It's your unit if you're going to do the repair, or if you made the opening small enough, place the white sticker back on there. You never have to worry about looking at it again unless the sticker somehow comes off. So yeah, so that's basically how you can go about this. Trust me, I've tried to look for other less destructive methods to do this, and there isn't any. There's no way to take this whole unit apart without basically destroying it, or just like I said, unless you actually your job is making e-coolers like this and spraying the foam in there and just fixing them. Otherwise, if it's not, then you don't have many options. for this model. It's either you can run it through the drain hole and have the wires sticking out from the outside and inside, or you can do it this method through here, which is the easiest way because there's nothing blocking it right here. But a little over here where this bracket starts right here, there is a metal that you can see through the little vent holes or whatever it is, a plate to keep the heat from the compressor from the top. So there is a plate right here that will block you from trying to go in through it to get access to the tub. You know, so you really only have access like barely right here, and that's about it. You know, and to get to the original ones that are somewhere right here, I mean, good luck with that. But I mean, this might give somebody else the idea of how they can you know, figure out a different way or an easier way or better way. So let me know if you have any other questions. I will try to, you know, I'm still working on it, so if I do post the video, I'm gonna make sure to hopefully be able to add some of the links, at least for the stuff. I mean, just refer back to the video, take screenshots, show it to the Home Depot or Lowe's member or wherever you go to shop for things like this, and just let them know you need these specific adhesives to do this repair. Sorry, lost my train of thought. And yeah, again, if you're confident, go for it. If you're not, and you're not even confident enough to do the plastic welding part or cutting part, then just find somebody that's willing to do it.